Hi guys, welcome to your week 2 US history launch, and this is going to be the second week that we discuss the first project, which is called American History Mythbusters. So if you are new to the course and did not see last week's launch, or if you didn't do the launch last week, I recommend going back to watch the first launch and learn a little bit more about that first checkpoint, because this one is going to discuss the second checkpoint. The PACE chart, again, you can find that in the Google Classroom. It will be available to you all year. I'm also going to keep discussing this every single week, where we are and where you need to be considered on PACE, because our attendance policy at this school is based on your ability to stay on PACE and make progress each week. So we're not saying you necessarily have to be exactly where I am, but you need to try to stay as close as possible and put in a genuine effort every single week to get back to what's considered on pace. So if you're somebody that in a 5-day week, you only get on and try one focus area one time and you don't pass it, but you think that's good enough for the week, it's really not. You need to be trying, think of it just like your brick and mortar school where you went to a class for 35 or 45 minutes a day. That's really what you should be trying to work in every single course 5 days a week. A reminder that your launches are like these videos you're watching right now. They are supposed to try to help you learn the concept a little bit easier, as well as keep pace with the project and focus areas so that you don't have to, at the end of the year, do 20 projects and 30 focus areas in the last month of school. If you follow these and do what's recommended, you're going to have a much smoother end of the year. It's important to remember, though, that they must be completed the week that they are assigned. If you want to get credit, because they do make up 10% of your final grade, it is important, though, that you stay on pace with them because they are not going to be available after the due date to get full credit. If you would like to go back later in the year and review something, they're going to be available for you to look at throughout the year, but not to get credit if you do not complete them as they are assigned. So the first project that we're working on is the American History Mythbusters. And just to refresh a little bit, the main concept is just discussing what is history, how do we really know what happened, how was history built, how do we know what to put in the textbooks and things like that. But also what myths are out there that exist around the founding of the United States. So this week is going to be on checkpoint 2. Again, if you didn't hear at the beginning, checkpoint 1 was discussed in last week's launch, so you'll want to watch that video for that one. Checkpoint 2, we are answering what happened when Christopher Columbus sailed to the Americas in 1492. When you click into the project view, you'll see this down the left side of your screen, and you can see there's the overview, and then this is checkpoint 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the star is your final product. So this week we are doing the second checkpoint. If you did not do the first one, please go back and do the first one before doing the second. So when you click into the second checkpoint, you'll see this screen. And what is actually submitted for feedback is going to be this document right here. So when you click into that, you're going to see this screen. So checkpoint 2 is asking you to write a paragraph in response to the question above. So again, what happened when Columbus got to America in 1492? Your paragraph should include a clear argumentative claim that clearly answers the question. An argumentative claim is basically just your opinion on something. A claim is not necessarily a fact. It's something that can go both ways. So you'll want to make it your opinion. What do you think happened when Columbus sailed to the Americas in 1492? And then how you support that argument is by providing some evidence to support that argument. What you want to do to support the argument is to use at least 2 quotes from the Christopher Columbus document set from checkpoint 1. So again, normally your resources are over on the right side of the screen right here. You can see there's nothing here. It's because it wants you to use those same resources that you used to complete checkpoint 1, use them to complete checkpoint 2. If you have any questions on that this week, please let me know. And I also want to point out the plans page. If you haven't seen these yet, they are in all of your classes. I'm not sure if all of your instructors will be using it the way I am, but this is how I plan to implement it. So when you're in the project page, you see the overview, which is what we went over a few slides ago, but there's also this plans tab. And if you click into that, you'll see a view like this. I plan to every single week add in a new tab here so you can kind of keep pace. So again, it's just another place to go so you're constantly hearing what is due that week in case you forgot. So for week 1, which ends tomorrow, the 28th, these were your goals to complete by the end of week 1. And then tomorrow, I will put in new goals for week 2 to try to stay on pace. While you're also working on the project checkpoints, you want to make sure you're at least starting the Revolutionary America focus area because these do give you some good content and you'll have a better understanding of the vocabulary that you're going to be reading about. So what you want to do is take the diagnostic one time. You'll want to, is this even the right one? Yeah. Take the diagnostic one time, unless it's some way that you like to study where you take the diagnostic a couple times. But what you want is that's a pretest that's going to kind of tell you what you know and what you don't know. So these are the 3 objectives that's going to give you data of which, you got a 2 out of 2 here, but a 0 out of 3 here. That would tell you, okay, I need to study objective 2 or else I'm not going to pass this content assessment. So when you click in, there's the resources. You don't have to go through all of them, but you have to click into these to get to the resources on the playlist. And then whenever you feel ready, like you can do all the things that are listed up here in the focus area info, then go ahead and request the content assessment. But just so you know, instructors will be more likely to approve content assessments between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. because we don't really work in the evening. So if you're somebody who does like to work in the evening, you need to be planning ahead and make sure that you're on there requesting these content assessments before we go home at 4 p.m. every day, because then they'll stay open for you until you're ready to work on it. But try to do some forward thinking and plan ahead. There's no school on Monday, September 3rd for Labor Day, but as your history teacher, I do feel kind of obligated to remind you that it's not necessarily just about the end of summer and having a picnic. So let's discuss a little bit of what Labor Day is. So basically, Labor Day started in 1882 when 10,000 workers marched in New York City demanding better rights for workers, because you have to think at that time they were working 14-hour days. There was fatal accidents like daily. These immigrant workers were all crammed into housing. They had children. Look at this kid. He's about 5 years old as a chimney sweep. So there was a lot of child labor being used. They weren't really being paid. So there was a lot of things that they wanted to demand better rights. So in 1894, the United States Congress acknowledged this and made Labor Day the first Monday of September for every year after. And then what we really are celebrating, why we have a day off, is we're celebrating the contributions as well as the social and economic achievements of the United States workforce. So that's what Labor Day is all about when somebody asks you that. So to do for next Tuesday, September 4th, you should be studying the Revolutionary America focus area and attempt the content assessment, and then also submitting checkpoint 1 and 2 of the project for feedback. Okay, if you guys need anything this week, please reach out and let me know.